Hello, my name is Jim Tritt, and this is Bullock Spice, a spice web app for simplifying your spice selection needs. Let's first start off looking at the problems and goals of this project. The problem that I came up with and saw was people who buy spices state that it can be difficult at times to find spices they need from their local grocery store. These grocery stores would be Kroger's, Walmart, Aldi, Trader Joe's, and etc. And the spices they have a hard time finding are usually spices from Asia, the Middle East, and other ethnic parts of the world. Since we have a problem, we can set up some goals to solve these problems. And I came up with three goals to solve. The first goal is to find hard spices easier to find and to use. The second is convey the quality of spices that the user will be purchasing through this app. And the last goal is one-stop shop spice buying needs. This would means buying everything from your salt and pepper to your steakhouse and Italian seasonings, all the way up to the problem of finding hard spices and making it convenient for them. After this, we can take a look at the timeline of the project. Let's first look over the timeline. As you can see, there was a lot to get done in each phase. And then I started in May of 2022 and it ended in October 2022. The first phase I started with the empathize phase. Here, I was working on developing ideas, conducting user interviews, and competitive analysis. And then from there, I moved on to the define phase, creating MVP, user persona, and other things to get a grasp of what the project and app would take and entail. From there, I moved on to the ideate phase. I was working on user flow, mood boards, and started out on wireframing. From then, I moved on to the prototype phase. From the prototype phase, I was creating design systems, working on responsive designs, and then just kind of getting a general idea of what the design of it would be like. There, I moved on to the testing phase. I first started with usability testing, and then additionally getting qualitative and quantitative feedback. As I said, I did some competitive analysis. The spice buying market is currently segmented into different apps and websites that only cater to certain sectors, like an app or website will just have Southern cooking spices or Indian spices only, or an app that only has a limited selection of a range of spices to choose from. From that, I recognized that I had to create something that would grab people's attentions and meet the people's spice needs worthwhile for them to utilize. Next, we can look at the empathize phase. While conducting my user interviews, I found some key insights that helped the whole process. Users often mention how challenging it can be to find spices that aren't stocked at the local grocery stores like Kroger's, Trader Joe's, and Aldi. Despite this, they take they take pleasure in discovering and using new spices. They like to use new spices to enhance their recipes and try new spices that they would never had a chance to. Additionally, significant thing was knowing that these spices are high quality and seeing real reviews by star rating and customer replies give the user confidence to know that spices are worth their time and effort. On the left was the questions that I posed to my users, and you can see some of their general feelings, the general feeling of fear, frustration, and obstacles. And then on the right is the responses I get. It was wants, and then some measure success and personal creations, and then below is the key insights from the interview. From there, I moved on to creating personas. This is my first persona of Janet, and then my second persona is Nick. And in these personas, I did in the define phase. Creating the persona was a very enjoyable process. They helped me define the project, and it also helped me envision the app to make sure the process of buying and finding these spices easy and simple, and to simplify their life. From there, I created a problem statement. As the problem statement is, as a spice user, I need the option to have a large selection of spices so that I can make delicious meals. This helped me kind of ground and lay the foundation of the app and reinforce what problems I was trying to solve. From there, I moved on to the ideate phase. Here are three user flows. In the edit phase, I use these user flows to understand and figure out how users would use the app. And then it also helped my inspiration of the look and feel of the app in creating the mood board, which we'll see shortly. And these kind of all tie together of how the user would interact with the app. Now, in the prototype phase, I started creating wireframes to get an idea of the layout and how it looked like moving on to developing that style guide, as is the colors and my type and this general design elements that would be used for this app. So here's a breakout of my mood board that I broke into different sections. This is the left side. It shows like the primary colors, and then the middle is the alert colors, like the red with an arrow, and then the green for success, and then the yellow is for the star, and then kind of warning or something else. I have some black and grays to signify other aspects of the app. The imagery is what I use to pull the colors from. And then this style guide is showing the typography I use. So the typeface I use for the logo, and then the typeface for the body copy, the H1s, all the way down to link text and the corresponding font size. And then this style guide is the different UI elements. So we have some different card layouts. We got some buttons with a search bar, and then some icons that I use. And then this style guide is a reflection of the mood board and my research into the spices and how they're being used. The colors I picked are bright and saturated to reflect how spices look, and then also the flavor of them. So then I moved on to testing, and in the final phase, which is testing, I conducted user testing via Zoom. During my Zoom testing, the goal was to get feedback on the app and what areas were successful and areas where I needed to improve. From the results of these tests, it showed that more testing, talking to users, understanding how they interact with the app was important. One thing I would have done differently was have a pool of users who were more into the cooking field than your home cooks. Secondly, spending more time researching and examining closer into other spice apps and websites to get an idea of how their designs work and the pros and cons of them. From the feedback, I added some features that would be really cool. For example, having a custom category of saved content. This feature would make it into the final design because the MVP in deciding that having the of option for users to categorize their content is a plus, and because of it, it made it into the app. It's a feature that would really be strong, and I could see the users using a lot, referring back to and showing and sharing the content that's shared with other people who also use the app. Overall, looking at the app, I'm really happy how it came out, and from my users that I interviewed would really be happy to use it. Because of this, I am proud of it.